What if the key to genuine joy isn't about achieving some future goal? What if it's available to us right here, right now, in this very moment? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea that could honestly change the way you experience your daily life. So let's just start with a super direct question, and I want you to take a second and really think about it. In what you're doing today, right now, is there joy, ease, and lightness? Think of it like a quick check-in with yourself, a little diagnostic tool for your inner state. And if the answer is no, if life feels more like a burden or a struggle, the reason might be that time is covering up the present moment. So what does that even mean, to be covered up by time? Well, this brings us to a really important concept called psychological time. See, psychological time is that constant mental chatter, right? We're either living in the past with regret, or we're living in the future with anxiety. It's this compulsive need to get to the next thing, which just drains all the life out of the current moment. And when that happens, when you feel that lack of joy, our first impulse is always to change the what. Get a new job, move to a new city, start a new project. But here's the big question: what if the answer isn't changing what you're doing at all? And this is the turning point. This is the fundamental shift in focus from the what to the how. Okay, so let's break this down. When we're focused on the what, our mind is totally fixated on the result, on the achievement. And this naturally creates resistance to right now, because the present just becomes a stepping stone to get to that future goal. But when we shift our focus to the how, everything changes. Our focus moves to the doing itself. The goal isn't the trophy at the end. The goal is just giving our full attention, which absolutely requires acceptance of this moment. So here's the crucial point: the actual practice. It's to give your fullest attention to whatever this moment presents. It doesn't matter if it's writing an email, washing the dishes, or talking to a friend. And to do that, you have to completely accept what is. Why? Well, think about it. You simply cannot give a moment your full, undivided attention and resist it at the same time. The two are completely mutually exclusive. It just doesn't work. And here's the incredible promise. The second you stop fighting with the now and instead honor it with your attention, all that struggle just dissolves. Life stops feeling like a series of obstacles you have to overcome and starts to flow with this amazing undercurrent of joy and ease. Suddenly, even the simplest action has a sense of quality and care to it. Now, this idea isn't new. It has incredibly deep, ancient roots, and it's beautifully articulated in a practice from the Bhagavad Gita. This brings us to action without attachment, which is also known as the practice of karma yoga. At its very heart, karma yoga is all about non-attachment to the fruit of your action. In plain English, that just means you stop worrying so much about the result. You pour your full attention into the action itself, and you trust that the fruit, the outcome, will take care of itself. So, to put it really clearly, karma yoga is the path of consecrated action. That might sound a little fancy, but all it means is that every action becomes sacred when you pour your full presence into it, completely detached from worrying about what you're going to get out of it. It's a huge shift from a life that's all about transactions to one that's about experience. And when you start to really live this way, a whole new reality starts to emerge. This is what we call the life underneath your life situation. This new reality is a world away from living in psychological time. Before, all your actions were probably driven by fear or anger, or this need to become someone, which meant your self-worth was always hanging on the outcome. But in the now, a playful, joyous energy is the driver. The goal isn't to become anything, it's just to be. Because you realize you're already complete. Your self-worth comes from your being, not your doing. This all leads to this beautiful paradox. Everything is honored, but nothing matters. So what on earth does that mean? It means you honor the forms of your life, your job, your relationships, your projects, by giving them your full, undivided presence. But they don't matter in the sense that your inner peace, your core being, doesn't depend on them. That is what it means to find the life underneath your life situation. It's this stable, peaceful dimension of who you are that is totally untouched by the ups and downs of the outside world. Neither failure nor success has the power to change who you are at your very core. Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe the most transformative idea of all: a complete redefinition of what success even is. When your sense of self comes from being, you are fundamentally free from fear. And this has real, tangible effects. You stop chasing goals with that grim, desperate determination. You also stop being paralyzed by the fear of failure, because failure can't touch the real you. And maybe best of all, you stop demanding that other people or situations make you happy, which frees you from constant disappointment. And so, this leads us to the ultimate question. If this is your state of being, present, peaceful, joyful in your actions, and totally free from fear, how could you possibly not succeed? The very definition of success has completely changed. Because the goal was never the destination. The goal was to find the joy in the journey, in the here and now. And when you do that, you realize you've already arrived. You have succeeded already.